Hello, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, a good night, whatever time it is there for you. Hello, welcome or welcome back to my channel. My name is Gina, and as you see, I got a new microphone. I'm still figuring it out, so it's going to be like a little awkward this video, but that's besides the point. I'm hoping to make a little crisper sounds, audio, I mean, and hopefully this will just make things better. So today's video, we're going to do some reading. It's snowing pretty good outside and I want to read. It's good weather to do so. Also, um, I have a little work that I need to do. I have some internship stuff and I'm working on a scholarship application at the same time. So we're going to do that stuff. But first, we're going to do a little reading this morning, and then I'll get to doing the rest of my work today. So I'm all dressed now. I'm in a different hoodie. um, but I wanted to show y'all something. So earlier this week, well, today's Sunday, but I think I went Thursday. Yeah, Thursday. I went back to the comic book shop and I picked up like one issue, but then by mistake, I ended up getting another copy, but it was a variant edition, so I don't feel too bad. So this is what I picked up. I have it in its protective little sheet, so it's a little reflecting a little bit, but that's cool. I didn't actually order this specific variant edition, so maybe that's why I mistakenly got a different one because they didn't actually have this one on the shelves. So the variant edition that I bought was this one instead. Like she looks fire. Um, as you see, X-Men Apocalypse. This is issue 2. I think I'm pretty sure I read issue 1 already, but I might not have. I'm looking at my stack. Oh, nope, I haven't read it yet. So I can't read this one just yet. I do have issue 1, so I'm going to read that probably today or something. I don't know. I'll read something. And then I also got this issue. This is issue 1 of Rogue. Let me see what it was actually about. I think I mentioned it before that Rogue used to be one of my favorite X-Men, and she still is one of my favorite, but she's not like the favorite. But she's one of them. I think I think she's supposed to help the Uncanny X-Men. Oh, she is now part of one of the Uncanny X-Men. So if you don't know what Rogue her powers are, you see that she's wearing gloves. So if she touches someone, she could drain their life force and I think take their memory. Yeah, she can absorb their life force and memories. So very, very dangerous person. But that's of course, only if she touches you, right? So there's a flaw to her strength or weakness. It's a strength and a weakness for her, but that's why she wears gloves all the time, anyways. But yeah, so she's supposed to be part of the Uncanny X Men. I'm pretty sure that's seen in other variations of the X Men series, like different uh series of them. She ends up joining the Uncanny X-Men, or she's training them or something like that. So she gets involved with Uncanny X-Men, and they're like the second generation essentially. um and then I also got Psylocke Ninja. Now this one, I actually I haven't heard of this character before, but she looks super cool. I think she can do not necessarily psychic things, but um, as you can see, her daggers on there. I mean, she has a sword too, but the dagger that she's holding on there is more. Um, I want to say more like a laser. The word I'm looking for is missing. Maybe it says it in here. Let's see. Um, she can project things, project thoughts, and perceive those of others. So that's probably what this is a projection. But I think she's also joining the Uncanny X-Men. Yes, she's also a member of the Uncanny X-Men. So this one is like following her life story. So we actually get to know more information about her. So I think this is a really good pickup for me to start learning more about her, because a lot of times you kind of get thrown, as of late, you'll get thrown into a series, um, even if you start with issue one, but you're expected to know about the character already. But it's not always the case. But anyways, yeah. So this was the last one that I picked up. I only picked up those three things. It was pretty quick. I want to say it was going to be a quick trip to the comic book shop, but there was someone that kept talking to me. It was fine. Like, it was enjoyable talking to him about manga, but I had tended to just grab my stuff and then get out. Anyways, I think I'm going to read one of these. I'm not entirely sure which one I plan on reading. Maybe Rogue. Or maybe I should read the Psylocke one. Or I could read one of the other ones that I picked up before, another week that I had picked up, like Wonder Woman, for example. I think this is just another reprint of Wonder Woman Black and Gold. This is just a 2026 special of it. But I'm pretty sure it's supposed to be just another one of those. But maybe I'll read that. I'm not sure, but we'll see what I pick up. Okay, so Rogue, Shadows of Tomorrow Rogue, pretty good. It's going to take me a minute to adjust to how she's speaking or how it's written, because she's in Louisiana, which makes sense for her to sound Southern. And how it's written, you have to read it that way. But it's a little frustrating at the same time, I can see some people not liking it because of that, but it's okay. For me, the ending was interesting to issue one. It definitely makes you wonder about issue number two. It's a good segue into that. Um, I don't want to say too much, but I guess I know she started off being with the X-Men, but in here it seems like she ended up joining the bad guys in her past too, which might be it's probably correct. I mean, I know it is because, in the comics that's probably how it worked, but I'm thinking about what I remember about Rogue, and I do believe she does end up going to the bad side, the, the bad side. Um, but she comes out of it and is now part of the Uncanny X-Men. So, yeah, she just met Mystique. Not like met, but went and visited Mystique. And we're going to see what happens. I had this shocked look on my face because issue number two, the cover was like, this variant cover was wild. Let me show you. Crazy. But I actually love it. I love it so much. Also, I like the art. Sometimes I'm not a big fan of the artwork and it makes it even harder for me to read. But in this case, I actually really like the artwork. And it's done by Luigi Zagaria. The writer is Erica Schultz. The color artist is Espen Grundetjun. And the cover artist is David Nakayama. So this is the cover. I'm pretty sure I shared it earlier, but yeah, the cover is pretty cool too. Um, oh, and the letterer is Ariana Mahir, or it says VC's Ariana Mahir. I'm not good at pronouncing names. I think I'm going to give this 3.5 stars. Yeah, I would reread it. I'm interested in knowing more about the series as it continues on. I'm glad I started with issue number one. And it reintroduced me to Gambit. I forgot about him. Um, and since she's kind of helped leading the Uncanny X-Men, I'm also getting introduced to some new characters. So it's pretty cool. Um, like I said, the art style is really good. It's just what knocks the rating down, like I said, is the reading how it's written. Um, in the storyline so far, it's good, but it's a little confusing. I'm sure things will get cleared up in the later issues. So for now, it's like 3.5, maybe 3.75. It's not quite 4 stars, but it's pretty close, pretty close. Anyways, yeah, so I finished Rogue issue one. I need to put it in my book slash comic journal, what I think of it, my rating, the artists and writers, and we'll just see how that goes. I'm not sure what I'm going to read next. I actually want to read a book per week, and I haven't finished a book yet this week. And like I said, it's Sunday. So we shall see what I get done today. Okay, so I'm not sure honestly what I want to read. I actually have quite a selection. I okay, so let me get my train of thoughts going. So these here, they're like these single issues, just a small stack. These are what I've read or I have a duplicate copy of. But I have these two. These two here. Yeah, Catwoman's Lifeline. These are like DC finest, and they are thick. I also have Harley Quinn, Birth of the Mirth, and yeah, they're like it's like 600 pages. Yeah, they're around 600 pages, like a little more, a little less. And I haven't started them yet. I bought them probably a month ago, and I should start them. I think I'm intimidated, but I read like volume one of Wonder Woman by George Perez, and that was like 300 pages. But it did take me a while to get through that now that I think about it. But that's probably because I was reading other stuff at the same time. So truly, I should start one of these. Hmm, I don't know. So I just finished reading X Men of Apocalypse issue one. I do have issue two here, and I will be reading it. I actually recommend this. I'm going to give it 4.5 stars, maybe 4.25, because this is actually a really good introduction. It introduces several of the heroes and not necessarily what they do. Well, yeah, it names some of the characters so you do know you get to learn some of the heroes, and most of the time they don't really do that. They're not like a really good intros like, "Oh, hey, this is Wolverine," or "This is Nate." What is this? What is his full name? Nate Gray. The person that's that person there. Nate Gray. Honestly, I don't know much about the Uncanny X-Men, but so far this is actually really good. It's about one timeline of the X-Men. I think it's the Uncanny X-Men, and then they are entering the timeline of Xavier's X-Men. Of course, some heroes cross over between the two, but they're technically on two different timelines, and the Uncanny One believe that their timeline is the correct one, and therefore they must abolish any anomalies or anything like that in the other timeline. And of course, that means it's vice versa because you need to protect your own timeline, kind of thing. So I think this is going to be so good. And I'm kind of intrigued because they just right at the end. No, I can't say what happened right at the end of issue 1, but that is the gist of what this is. I can tell you, I can read to you what it says it is about. Um, in an alternate timeline, the ultimate death of Charles Xavier allowed the immortal mutant Apocalypse to conquer Earth, kicking off the Age of Apocalypse. For 10 years, the X-Men waged war against Apocalypse and won, but even after the Age of Apocalypse ended, the timeline never reverted to normal. So that's kind of like where it's at. And even here, I think we're following along with like this these characters, these heroes, and they are actually named in here. So that's great. It's a good reference to go back to. I do wonder if they're going to do that in each issue, but I have a feeling they might not. But that's okay. That's okay. Oh, Nate Gray is called X-Man. So X-Men, he is the X-Man. Interesting. I didn't know that. So that already kind of gives me an idea, probably, of some background information. But we'll see how it goes. I'm going to go ahead and read issue 2 because I just want to jump straight into it. Issue 2 like just came out. So I want to go ahead and read it. And okay. Okay. So first off, look at how cool Phoenix looks. I love that. But the ending page got to me like, what? I'm sure those that like really know the series in general might not find this as a shock as it did to me, but introducing Rogue being with Magneto, someone that she like in the Age of Apocalypse. What? And that's an issue 2? Well, we just get introduced to that in issue 2, but what? I didn't know that. But I also don't know much about the Age of Apocalypse. But now I'm like, I must know. I must know because I want to know more information about this because that's interesting. Of course, I already knew Phoenix would be like more powerful than any of the X-Men, even the X-Man. So it's cool. They do introduce you to more of the characters in here. I'm trying to find the right page. No? No? Okay, I thought it did. Oh yeah, it does. It does on page 1. It has the listing of probably the main characters that you'll see in this issue, which I think is really nice. It's a good touch because normally they just don't put that in there. Like I was saying about issue 1, so the fact that they did continue it in issue 2 was really nice. But they didn't continue this hero. This is this hero. You just, you know, there are introductions, but it's not the same as it was in issue 1. But that's okay. I'm really loving it. Issue 1 and issue 2, really good. Really good. So I want to say this is so far 4.5 for sure. I think later on, as this series continues, it probably will enter being like a 5-star series for me. I don't know how long they intend for this to be, but I think there is potential for it to become a 5-star series, but right now it's sitting at 4.5, which is really good. I highly recommend it to those that are a fan of the X-Men. Of course, you're not really you are following the original X-Men that we grew up watching the movies and stuff of, but he's also the other X-Men, so we'll have to see how that goes. But now, once I put this down in my book journal real quickly, I'm just going to start reading more of Dawn. Okay, so I don't know what was going on with my audio for a couple of the clips. The final clip, the audio was extremely low, and I was just not, I wasn't going to add that. I already had one low volume clip, and I didn't want it to end that way either. So I had just finished the book Dawn by Octavia E. Butler, and I was just giving my review. It was really me just saying how I wasn't expecting the ending, but I also didn't know what to expect from the ending. So it actually ended pretty well, and it makes you excited for the next um, book in the series. Because this is a trilogy, there's 3 books in this series. So I'm actually curious about what happens in book 2, and then I'm sure it'll end in a certain way that it'll make me look forward to book 3. I'm rating it, what did I rate it? It's 4.5 stars for sure. There's a couple of things in here that knocked it down a couple points for me. It might not for others. Like, there's definitely a reason why it there's a point where there was a time jump, and it made sense why there was a time jump. I just didn't like it. I wish it would have said like 3 months later or something like that. It's really nitpicking, but it bothered me. It bothered me. So that's why I got knocked. That's not the only reason, but that's like part of the reasons why I got knocked down to 4.5 out of 5 stars. And for Goodreads, I put it down as 4 stars. I didn't round it up, but who knows? I may change it later down the road. And that was it for the video. I hope you enjoyed it. Once again, I'm sorry about the audio. It, I'm not sure. I just got this microphone. I'm still figuring it out. And yeah, so I hope you enjoyed it anyways, and I will see y'all next time. Bye.